कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर, गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। I welcome everyone who has come to the temple as well as who are online. It is quite a few weeks now. Today is actually we skipped 2 weekends, and this is the third weekend which we are meeting. I again, I had some personal commitments and I had to fulfill them, so I took a break for 2 weeks. I was traveling. I went to California on one weekend and I went to Orlando on the other weekend because of my some personal commitments with my family members. So I apologize for not being in touch with you for a while, and we are meeting again, and it's a very great time. It's a Ganpati time, so we are all meeting now, and we will continue with our study of Shrimad Bhagwat Gita. We will like to recap a little bit because it's a time in between almost 3 weeks now. So we'll try to do some recap where we were, and we'll continue from there. So what we were on the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga Nama Dvitiyo Adhyayah. The second chapter of Shrimad Bhagwat Gita, whose name is Sankhya Yoga, and we were studying about this Sankhya Yoga. What does the God wants to say us in the Sankhya Yoga? What is the meaning of the Sankhya Yoga? Generally, in most of the cases, what we do is that we take a book, and especially any religious book, we try to get a story out of it either, or what we do is we just pray the book. But Gita is a book which is applied sciences. Gita is a book which is for applied sciences in everyday life, and it is applicable at every moment in the life. So it is not that it was applicable then and it is not applicable now. It is applicable every time, in every society, anywhere in the world. And so this book is supposed to be opened and read. The book started itself with a Arjun Vishad Yog. Arjun is unhappy. Arjun is having a sadness because he has to fight with his colleagues, with his relatives, with his elders, with ancestors, for the righteous war. And whether to fight or not is a question. And so the first answer of Bhagwan Yogeshwar Krishna is to explain him the Sankhya Yoga, that we understand our life. What is our life? What exactly we are, who we are, how we have come to this planet, what is our life, what is our relationship, man with man, a human with a human with nature, and a human with the society. So what is the relationship of us with the outside world, and what we are internally actually. And that is the whole Sankhya Yoga is. And God has explained that, the Atma and the material world and the spiritual side of the Atma side of the world, and how the Atma is disconnected, is not connected with every birth. And that is what, when God explained, Arjun is asking that the person who has understood these qualities, the person who has understood the continuity of the soul and discontinuity of the material world, a person who has understood it, how does that person work? How does that person talk? How does that person walk on the surface of the earth? So that was the sloka, the 54th sloka of Shrimad Bhagwat Gita we were looking at, and also 55th sloka last time. So let us go, let me chant the 54th sloka first, where the Arjun is asking the question. Arjun is asking a question that, how this person who is expected to be, having this knowledge, is supposed to be behaving, is supposed to work. So let me chant that sloka. Arjun Vacha Sthita Pragyasya Ka Bhasha Samadhisthasya Keshava Sthitadhi Kim Prabhasheta Kimasita Vrajeta Kim. Yes. Arjun is asking, Sthita Pragya, the person whose intellect is steadfast. He is having the steadfast intellect. And he is Samadhisya, means Samadhi. In our word, in our normal understanding, the meaning of the word Samadhi means what? Somebody has taken, it's like a tomb of somebody. Somebody has died, and that person who has died has taken a Samadhi. He is a person, he or she is a person who has left the body, and that person has gone down in the earth or gone in the water. That is called a Samadhi. 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 Samadhi means you have attained a status, a state in life. So when an intellectually steadfast person attains a situation, a status, in the intellectual part of his brain, intellectually, then he is also called as a Samadhistha. A person who has attained a status, a situation, continuously, unshakenly, is called as Samadhi. So a Samadhi can be after the death, and Samadhi can be while being alive also. So here, this person is in Samadhi by having a steadfast intellect. And that is why the Arjun used the word Samadhisyasya Keshava. And then stitati kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. That means stitati, this person, kim prabhasheta, how does he speak? And kim asita, how does he sit? And vrajeta, how does he walk around? That is what Arjuna is asking. See, always we need a reference. Whenever we have a reference, a human, how we learnt about this in detail. How does a human, how does a person learns, the methods of learning. We talked about it in detail in the previous sessions. So Arjuna is asking that how does this person is in a situation where it is a steadfast intellect. And we took the example of the monk who is going to a dancer's house and living there for 7 years. And then he's walking out. We took that story. So we will go further from there. And the God answered on that question that how does a steadfast person, how does a sthita pragya, a guy who's pragya, whose intellect is sthita, is strong, steadfast. So God is asking, God is answering, and that is the 55th sloka, and I will chant the sloka, and we will go forward from that. So, Sri Bhagwan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogatan Atmanevatmana Tushta Sthita Pragyastadochyate. The God answered. The very first quality and the very first the indication of a person being a steadfast, sthita pragya. Prajahati yada kaman. Prajahati, he discards. And that is where we were looking at last time. Prajahati yada kaman. He discards all the kama. The Supreme Lord said, O Parth, when one discards all the selfish desires and craving of the senses that torment the mind. This is the meaning. So, we were looking at that Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Kaman means the desires. So, here we were talking about the Maslow's law, Maslow's triangle. And we talked about the various desires, the levels of desires, and the triangle which shows the base level and the upper level. So, we were talking about that, and we talked that how Maslow explained is that unless the lower level desires are satisfied, a person doesn't aspire for a higher level desire. That is what is explained as a Maslow's triangle and by the Western thinkers. And then we talked about, and I stopped at that moment, at the end of the Pravachan, is that but the Eastern way, the Sanatan way, is also looking at it at the same triangle, but in a different way. And what way does it say? So, we were talking about various things here, and one was the Prajahati Yada Kaman. So, can we, number one, first question itself is that can we even, get rid of any desire? Should we not desire anything? What is the difference between, now there are different, ichha, wish. So what is the difference between a wish and a desire? इच्छा और कामना के बीच में क्या फर्क है? What is the difference between an ichha and kamna? Here the word is prajahati yada kaman. So there is no stopping on doing an ichha, a wish. There is nothing wrong and there is nothing, not to be stopped. Why? Because unless there is an ichha, unless there is a wish, there is no push. When we wish to eat an ice cream, then we, go to an ice cream shop and we buy an ice cream and we eat it. Why did we go to an ice cream shop? Why didn't we go to another garment shop? Because the whole purpose was based in the wish, where a person is wishing to eat an ice cream. So, wish is the seed of going forward at every single second in our life. The moment we wake up to the moment we sleep, and even during our sleep also, in the dreams, there are wishes. Without a wish, a person doesn't move. I want to get, I want to get cleaned, and that is why I will take a bath. I will do the brushing. So wishing, so here prajahati yada kaman. Here the desire, the calm has to be, has to be given away. We have to give up on that. We have to discard. But not ichcha. Because a ichcha or a wish is the root of us moving further in life. So that is number one part. So somebody will say, oh, I don't have any ichcha. Not possible. Even to the lowermost element in our life is that I want to live. And that is why we breathe. Why do we breathe? Now that has become such an automatic thing that we do not even do ichcha, and we keep on breathing. But basically we want to live is also an ichcha, and that is why we eat, we drink, we eat, we drink, we move around, we clean ourselves, we take a good sleep. All this has got a one basic instinct inside, is that I want to live. That is my wish. Somebody, unfortunately, who doesn't want to live and he or she wants to suicide, they stop. The moment the wish of I want to live stops, the person ends the life. So wish has to be there. In our Shastra also, when we are telling the pujas, when we are doing different pujas, say for example, we are doing the Rudri. When our Panditji is over here, Maharaj is doing the Rudri. During that Rudri, we have got Namakam and Chamakam. There is a Namak and there is a Chamak. Namak means we are bowing to the God, and Chamak means Chame, Cha me, Cha me. Cha means and me means I need. I need this, I need this, I need this. Eka Chame, Tisras Chame, you must have already heard about it. There is a very long list of items which is telling Chame, 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 this, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need this. We are asking for it. So Sanatana Dharma is not to run away from the world, we are there to live in the world. This is one of the basic understanding we all should be developing, that Sanatana Dharma is in total favor of living happily. Sanatana Dharma doesn't discard the adhi-bhautik part of the life. The physical part of the life is not discarded by Sanatana Dharma. So, by leaving the world only, we can attain a God or we can attain the heaven is not what is told as in Sanatana Dharma. So here, this word is very intellectually and correctly selected by the God, is that Prajahati Yada Kaman. The word is Kaman. What is the difference between a wish and a kam? What is the difference between a wish and a desire? What is the difference? इच्छा और कामना के बीच में क्या फर्क है? It's very important. The kamana is a secondary impact, the repeated experiences of happiness. If I get one experience and I want to keep on repeating that experience, that becomes a kama. And then when it is going more and more, it becomes a moha. Say for example, we go to a restaurant, we take a good dish and the dish is very nice, so we tasted it. Okay, now I like that dish, I like that idli sambar. Now I want to eat that idli sambar every day, all the time. That becomes a kamna. So my wish to eat some good snacks and going to a restaurant and getting a idli sambar was a wish. But when it becomes, I should get that idli sambar every day, continuously, uninterruptedly, in abundance, as easy as possible, and as quickly as possible. All these factors makes an ichha into a kamna. Now here there are so many parts. The Gita is a very excellent way of explaining our life. So here it is told that this person is leaving, is discarding the desires, discarding the kamna. Even in very common sense also, we should discard the kamna. In a very common sense. We may not consider the God part at all. We may not consider the bhakti part at all. Doesn't matter. Even for those people who are non-believers. See, remember, Gita doesn't say that you believe in God. Gita explains what is right for you. So even, and this further thing which I am trying to explain is even for the people who are not believing in God. Imagine that we have got a desire which we want to have a repeated experience of the same thing. Unlimited. What will happen? Because the life is a variable. Life keeps on changing. So same experience will not happen next time. Maybe different. Imagine the same example of idli sambar. We go to a restaurant every day morning while going to an office. I will go to that restaurant and I will have a nice snacks of idli sambar. And I love it. I love the taste. I will keep eating it. I will keep eating it every day while going to the office. Let us take for example. But one day that cook has changed in the restaurant. He is sick. He is not coming. The delivery of the dal and the rice and everything has changed. Now that type of rice is no more available. So the taste of the idli changes. Taste of the idli sambar changes. Now if my mind, if my mind, mera man, if my mind is stuck with the taste and I want that taste repeatedly, what will happen? I will become unhappy because now the situation has changed. Change in situation will make me unhappy. Why? Because my kamana, my desire was having the same experience repeatedly. Which is not practical, which is not possible in a continuously moving life and the world. So having a kamana doesn't lead a person to a happiness. Simple. There is no God in this logic at all. There are variables, and if we expect, if we desire that every experience should be repeated continuously, it will not happen, and eventually that will get us into a unhappy situation. Oh, this is external factor. What about internal factor? Let us talk about it. When we were young, we were, like a girl is young, she wanted to, play with the doll. So she gets a doll and she loves to play with the doll, one day, second day, third day, feeding the doll and sleeping with the doll, and all that thing is being done. Now, we ourselves also change. The girl grow older. You tell that 35-year-old girl now that you play with the doll, what will happen? Will she be happy? Or equal amount of happiness? No. Because even we ourselves also keep on changing. When we keep on changing, when the world keeps on changing, the repeated experience of the same type is not possible. So desiring those things to repeat continuously is path to unhappiness. That is why a kamana has to be discarded. Then somebody will say, no, you know what, I will keep on moving also as the world keeps on moving. Even in such case also, a kamana is not going to get us happiness. How? Because there are always an unexpected factors in any process. So in that process, when that unexpected step or unexpected situation arises, it is beyond control. A human cannot control every factor in the life at every moment. And the moment it changes, it will bring us a unhappiness. It will bring us into a situation which is not comfortable to us. There is a little story. What happened? that there was a king. This is a very old time story, very, very old time story. So in that old time, there was a king. He was having his nice big kingdom. And he wanted to move around in the kingdom. He likes to move around. Now, at that time, during that time, there was no shoes. So that king was moving around in the kingdom with the bare foot. And naturally, there were thorns, and there are stones. There is a hot sand. There are pebbles which were poking into the king's foot. And king was uncomfortable with it. So king thought that I am the king and this is my kingdom. I should have my kingdom comfortable for me. Yes. We think that, oh, that was a stupid king. No, even we think every day morning we get up and we think that today's world for me should be comfortable for me. May it be a job, may it be relationship, may it be food, may it be health, anything. We always desire, today should be comfortable for me. So we are not much away from that king. Anyway, so the king thought that while I am walking around in the kingdom, I'm feeling, I'm getting those stones and everything in my foot. And so he called, I've got a lot of money. Yes, people generally who have got a lot of money and lot of power are having little less brain. Or they have got the brain which is more covered with all those other problems. So anyway, so he called his mantri, Pradhan, he called him. He told, because I am getting all those stones in my foot and I am getting it uncomfortable, cover all the roads with the carpet. Cover all the roads with the carpet. Cover everywhere in the kingdom wherever I want to go with the carpet. So I do not feel any poking of the stones. I don't get any thorns in my foot. That is what the king ordered. Now this is a king's order. We have not experienced lately in the last 50, 80, 100 years. Most of us have not experienced the kingdom and the king. It's not democracy. Very difficult. So when the king orders, this has to be done, it has to be done. But what will happen if the whole kingdom is covered with the carpet? There will be no food. There are no farms. But you know what? That is why the kings always keeps the advisors. Because internally they know that they have got less brain than the other people. They will not admit it, but they know it. And that is why they keep the advisors. Well, keeping away the jovial part, so this advisor, the Pradhan, the minister thought this is not correct, we have to do something now, we can't cover the whole kingdom with the carpet, and what to do? So he told that I want a wise man to resolve this issue. So a person came and he made the shoes and he told the king that, you wear this and you can go anywhere in the world without any stones poking in your foot. And the king wears it and king is happy now. So the moral of the story is what? When we cover ourselves, we become immune to the external variations in the world, then any variations in the world will not impact us. In the word Kaman, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to expose ourselves to the variations and get unhappy through it. That is why the Kaman, Prajahati Yada Kaman, the desires has to be, the desire has to be discarded. But the wishes are not to be discarded. We ask the children, what do you want to be? You say, I want to be an engineer, I want to be software engineer, I want to do some other thing. So why? Unless there is a wish, the child will not study. The child has to study. So here it is very important that we do not discard our wishes, but we discard our desires. And then Sarvan Partha Manogatan. yeah, the another word, Sarvan Partha, Manogatan. Manogatan, of the mind. That means discarding from where? Discarding from the mind. When the mind, mana, it is मन में से इच्छाओं का त्याग नहीं कामनाओं का त्याग करना है. In Hindi it is more easier to explain because there are no much equivalent words in English. Probably I do not know about them. So what is required is you remove the desires from the mind and you keep the wishes in the mind. When the wishes are there, the progress will be there, but desires are not there, so it will not bring the unhappiness. And then Atmani eva Atmana Tushtaha. The person is satisfied within himself because the person has realized himself. What is the realization of self? Realization of self means who am I? Who am I is the one who has clearly realized, as per the Sankhya Yoga, that person has got no kaman. The person will discard automatically the desire, and such person is said to be transcendentally situated. Sthita pragnasya dochyate. The uchyate. Sthita pragnasya the uchyate. Uchyate means is said. So, a person with a steady intellect is the one who is discarding the desires in a sarvan partha, all kind of desires. Somebody will say that, oh, I do not have any more desires of this thing now. That doesn't work because the mind has got a habit of desiring. So somebody say that I do not like this, that means I have no kaman for that. No, it is the quality of kaman and not the object of the kaman. So if I am having a quality, a tendency, a inclination, a behavior, a path along for kaman, means my mind is having a habit of finding happiness in repeated experiences. That is kaman. So if my mind is habitual to finding happiness in repeated experiences, then I am going to be unhappy. It may be one object or the other object. It doesn't matter which object comes in front. When my mind is designed or is trained to get happiness only through the repeated experiences, that is the process of going towards unhappiness. So this person, Sarvan, from all the type of desires, Manogatan, from the mind, Prajahati, discards, Kaman, all the desires, and he or she is Atmanev Atmana Tushta. He or she is already satisfied, contented within. By my own existence I am happy. That is what is Sthita Pragyascha Duchyate. That is what a Sthita Pragya is called. So here God has clearly given the definition, what is the meaning of Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya doesn't leave the world. Sthita Pragya doesn't say that the world is useless and I am not going to, follow any of this. Sthita Pragya does all the work which we do in our life as a normal person also. He or she will, eat, drink fruit, juice, get married, have family, have business, do the job, get the education, go to the university, play games, wear nice clothes, eat good food, have their own bungalow or houses, have the car. Doesn't matter. The definition of Sthita Pragya is that the desire, the expectancy of repeated experiences of happiness is not there in the mind of a person, and that is Sthita Pragya. कामनाओं का अच्छी तरह से त्याग कर देता है. And that is what we were looking at this sloka. So, how do we discard? The question here will arise that how do we discard? What is the method? What are the processes and steps through which we can discard the desires? कामनाओं का त्याग कैसे हो सकता है? Because any good experiences, people will, it is natural. Because through the Prakriti itself, it is natural that any good experiences, we want to always repeat it. Nobody wants to repeat bad experiences. Everybody wants to repeat the good experiences. So, the good experiences, we always want to repeat. Now, how do we discard the desire? What are the methods? So there are multiple ways. There are multiple ways God has explained, our Shastras has explained. In multiple ways, we can we can discard the desires. कामनाओं का त्याग हो सकता है. And again I will repeat, discarding the desire doesn't mean discarding the wishes. We can live our life, but the pull of desire will not be there in the life. So the very first one, so the very first one of the path, very first way of path is what is called as a submission. In the science of bhakti, it is called as a submission. Or in the science of Sankhya Yoga, it is belonging to the Creator. When we say that I am an Atma and I am going to change from body to body, and then there is a Paramatma, there is a higher soul, then belonging to the Creator, in our intellect, understanding that I belong to a Creator, somebody has sent me to this world. Somebody wanted something from me to do my actions in this world. And I belong to that Creator. Belonging to the Creator is first way of and the easiest way to discard the desires. How? How does that work? So when we are related to a higher and more powerful, then we are not worried about our needs. We are not worried about what is going to happen to us. Imagine that a child is traveling with the mother. Child, when they are both going, the mother will say, okay, you know what, today we have got a traveling time of around say 4 hours, 5 hours, so we'll go together. Child says, okay, I'll come with you. The child doesn't bother at all that during those 5 hours, what will happen to if I need a food, if I need some water to drink, if I need something else, what will happen? Whether we will go to the destination correctly, whether we will reach in time, what will happen if there are situation changes in the traveling, during the traveling, the child doesn't worry. Why? Because the child has submitted to the mother. The child knows that anything going wrong, anything going to be, changing in the situation will be handled by my mother. My mother is going to take care of me. I am belonging to my mother. This is the best and easiest way. Best and easiest to get rid of the desires. Because what happens that if there is somebody going to take care of me, and that somebody who is bigger, more powerful, more efficient, and more loving to me and thinking about me, if that thing sets in our mind, in our intellect, then we will never be worried about what is going to happen. And secondly, we will never have any desire because we know that our things will be taken care of. Imagine we are going in a flight. We are traveling. And you board the plane and you are traveling from say Toronto to New York. while traveling, because we have given our complete belonging to the airline, to the pilot, we believe that the proper training is given, we believe that the proper maintenance of the aircraft is done, we believe that the direction and all the details are given correctly to the pilot. We are very comfortable in the flight. We never even look out, or even though we look out, we don't understand that where we are actually. But we know that we are going to land in New York correctly. While flying, we are not worried. We enjoy the drink, we enjoy the food. Why? Because we have left that. Once we submit our desires as a belonging to a creator, to a higher level, then our desires are automatically discarded. That is the first level of understanding. So second part is, there is another way, because somebody will say that, oh, I can't be so irresponsible. I cannot have that much amount of faith. I am still skeptical that whether all the things will be taken care. Okay, then there is another method, and that is understanding of the duty. When we have taken a birth, we have come with a duty. Everybody who was born in this world has come with a duty. Even animals. Somebody will say, oh, what an animal has a duty. Animals also have got their what is called as a prakritic duty. We all know that there is an eco chain. There is an eco chain system. And every animal, every insect, even the smallest insect, has got their part in the ecosystem. Smallest insect in the world. Even microorganisms have got their own duty, own part, own role to play in this world. That is our duty we come through. So we are all born for doing our duty. Being a human, we have got a bigger duty. Why? Because we have got a independent thinking, we have got a freedom. An animal doesn't have a freedom. Animal has a freedom just to move around and all, but they do not have freedom to change. A lion cannot think that, okay, tomorrow I want to become a zebra, or vice versa. But a human can become. So, because a human is at a highest level, we are coming with the highest duty. With all the great powers, the great responsibilities comes. So, consider the life as a duty. And when you are fulfilling a duty, there are always going to be change in life. There are going to be consequences of, the results, and the inputs and the results will be, output will be different than what is expected. So while doing a duty, just like you imagine now that instead of a traveler in the airplane, now you are a pilot of the same flight which is going from Toronto to New York. What will happen? You are a pilot. Your duty is to fly from Toronto to New York. Who are the people in the passengers? Where they are going? What they are doing? What will happen? Whether they will what they are going to work on or what? They do not worry. This is my duty, and I am going to fulfill my duty. So thinking the life as a duty also removes the desire, because when I am doing it as a duty, I don't have any desire. If halfway, if the pilot gets a phone call that, hey, his friend is calling, hey, come to New Jersey, today we have a party. I cannot. Why? Because I am flying now. My duty is to reach to the New York airport. So, when we consider the life understand as a duty, then also the desires go away. Wishes are there. Remember, I always do not mistake it. There will be wishes, but there will not be any desires. Repeated experiences of happiness will not be there. But there are always, as every coin has got two sides, there are two sides of in this also. When we say that everything is a duty, then the duty brings the dryness in the life. Let us take an example. What is the difference between a duty and a relationship? Suppose there is a child, and the child is sick. The child is in hospital. It's an excellent hospital. There are very good nurses. They take care of the child. They give them proper medicine in time, take care, give massage, all those things. The nurses are taking care of the child really well. But the child will cry that I want mother next to me. I will eat the medicine from my mother. Now that mother may not be a very highly qualified, medically certified, properly trained person to cure that disease which that child has. But mother is related. So the care which is taken care by the nurse is like a duty. But the care which is taken by a mother is a relationship. So going merely by duty will make the life dry. It will not give the fragrance. It will not give the smoothness. It will not give the feeling of warmth, togetherness, combined, comradeship, all those words. It will not give it if we take it only as a duty. That is why to consider something only as a duty is not an excellent path. Because people will be getting rid of desire. This is my duty, I will do it. There is no desire. But then the life is not going to be a very, what we call in Hindi is that bhavna se bhiga hua. Yeah, the person who is drenched with the feeling of happiness towards, with the belongingness will not happen if we are considering only as a duty. It will become a dry. So we have to be careful if we take this path of only as a duty. The third way, another way is to take as a trusteeship. So I am just a trustee. मैं तुम्हारा दास हूँ. दासत्व is another way to lose the desires, to discard the desire. मैं तुम्हारा दास हूँ. I am your सेवक. मैं तुम्हारा सेवक हूँ. When we have this understanding, which is a trusteeship, and the ownership is by somebody else, which is basically the Sankhya is telling, that we are not even owner of our body. It is a material world, we are not even owner of our body. So, in that way, when there is a trusteeship, including our body, including ourselves, and then going out with all our belongings, when we understand that I am not the owner, when we understand that I am merely a trustee, bhade ka ghar hai, what we say is that our body is a rental place. We have rented it for during our lifespan. We are using it, but the moment we are dying, the moment we are dead, what will happen? Our Atma will go out, we will go out. We are Atma, so we will go out and the body will stay here. In other words, the body is not even our own. There is a very nice sloka for that, and there is a story behind it. But I will just tell the sloka that what is ours is a question. What is mine? Mera kya hai? What is mine? So in that the sloka is Dhanani bhumo pasvasta goste bharya gharadware janas vashane dehaschitayam parloka marge karmani gacchati eko. When a person dies, what is then a person who has lived a long life telling that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, everything is mine. When a person dies, what happens? When a person dies, we see that everything is left over. The car, Pashuvasta Goste, Bharya Garadware, yeah, Dhanani Bhumo, Dhanani, the money, all the wealth will be left on the surface of the earth itself. We cannot take, the Atma cannot take it. Pashavasta Goste, Pashu means at that time it was Pashu. Presently we can say the car, there is a Tesla car, there is a BMW car. It will still stay in our garage. It will not go anywhere. It will not come with us. Pashavasta Goste, Bharya Garadware. Bharya means wife. Bharya will be up to, it is the old time. So the wife was not coming in the cremation process. That was the time. The women were not allowed in cremation process. So this sloka is that time. But basically it says that the bharya, the wife, will be at the doorstep. And Janas Mashane, all the people who are going to carry me are going to come only up to the cremation place. And Dehaschitayam, my own body will come with me only up to the chita, up to that fire thing. Dehaschitayam. What will come with me? Karmanugacchate eko. The karma will come with me. In other words, anything which I think, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, nothing is mine. Even my body is not mine. So if my body is not mine, all the things which I think my belonging is not mine, then how can I have a desire for it? So as we cannot have a desire for it, because nothing is mine, the only Atma is mine, I cannot take it anywhere else, whatever I try to desire. Naturally, the best intelligent person will discard the desires. And that is how also the third way is trusteeship. The trusteeship is going to show clearly that I am not the owner. When I am not the owner, obviously I will not have a desire and I can discard the desire. So the third way was ownership is by other or someone and I am only a trustee for this. That is another way to discard the desire. And the fourth is the easiest way, I consider that as the easiest way, is to develop a relationship. To understand the relationship is the best way to remove the desire. Let us take an example, a very simple example we will take. While eating the food, sometimes at home, when we are eating the food is sometimes less or more, right? Sometimes the mother will be in a hurry or something, they will make only 5 chapatis, for example, only 5 breads. Now, the whole family is sitting there and everybody is eating. Now, the father is seeing that the child is very hungry and child is asking for one more bread. It is the last piece of bread. What does the father do? Father just gives it up. Okay, take this piece of bread. We always share, isn't it? We share our lunch boxes. Why? Because there is no desire. There is no desire that I should have more, I should have many, I should have immediately. And the reason is because there is a relationship. When there is a relationship, the behavior of a person is to share and give. When we understand the relationship, our desires are dissolved. The difference between the other methods and in this method is that when we understand the relationship, our desires are not required to be discarded, but our desires are dissolved. Pighal jati hai. They are no more in existence. So, having a relationship, understanding the relationship is the best way. Relationship with whom? Relationship with the Creator. I am related with the God. It will come in the further chapters. There is a sloka already come. Sarvasya chaham radhisannivishtu. You are my Creator. Mama ivansho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. You are my ansh. When we understand, when we learn the relationship with God, He is my brother, he or she, whatever way you want to. If you go with Mataji, she is my mother. If you go with Krishna or any other God, he or she, whatever way we want to identify and relate to it. When we get a relationship, the desires dissolve. And that is where all our bhakta has told, Bhagwan ki ichha ke mujab hoga. Bhagwan ki ichha ke bagair patta bhi nahi hilta. All these things which is told without a wish, even a leaf will not move without the wish of the God. That is what when all the devotees, our great devotees, the Santa, all the Mahatmas have told, he is coming from this. Develop a relationship and the desires will dissolve. The moment the desires resolve, the pragna will become sthita and the person will become sthita pragya. That is what is going to happen. So there is one last stanza of this Atmanev Atmana Tushta. What is the meaning of a person satisfied within with oneself? Is balance. So when we come, it's already 11 o'clock. So when I come again on next Saturday, we will go forward on this sloka, 55th sloka, and on the topic where the God is trying to explain Atmanev Atmana Tushtaha. What does it mean? And how do we apply? How do we apply this thing in our life? We'll talk about it when I come again on next Saturday. Till then, everybody have a great time. It is a Ganpati time. It's a Ganpati Bappa Moria. Ganpati has come to our life. Ganpati has come to bless us all, to bring happiness. Modaka, Modaka means happiness. One Moda means happiness. One who brings the happiness has come. So I wish everybody happy Ganpati time, and see you on next Saturday again, same time, 10 to 11 o'clock. Till then, I wish everybody great time. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachano Ramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve
Bhagwad